Okay. So, DD, you need to keep an eye on chat because I can't. Oh my goodness. Okay, lights out and away we go.
Jamming a
Everyone
good
seems to be
start.
getting away pretty well. Yeah, Jamin had a great start. A little bit of carnage at the back there, not sure what was going on. I can't hear the game at all. Right, okay, that's better. Okay, I've never directed a stream before in any way, so apologies if it's a bit shoddy tonight. But it should be entertaining them nevertheless. A very close field here. Oh, Tinny near defending here from Ross. Ross trying to sneak his nose in there, but decides to back out of it, playing it patiently, which is probably for the best. We've got someone in the pits, Orgadal at the back there, making an early stop. Obviously this race decides the grid, so you can make some gambles and try and get further up the field for the start of the next race. That was a good move from Ross there, getting the switch done on Tinny. Everyone just following each other nicely. Jamin leading the race pretty comfortably right now, got an over a second gap to Supra, so he's cleared him in terms of DRS. Supra on the other hand is under a lot of pressure from Fairley and Hoike. Wiggles closely following behind. Oh, we've got a position swap here with Tinny and Dayman going side by side through turn 1. Will Tinny look for a move? Dayman defending well. Tinny will try the switch back. Goes a little bit wide. Still manages to get a better exit than Dayman. Oh, and Nairo out of nowhere making a move on Tinny. Up the inside. Will he make it stick? Side by side again. Through Lutfield, I believe that corner was called. Good racing between the two. Oh, that is an ambitious move, going side by side through Maggots and Beckett's. You don't see that very often. Oh, there's an incident. Well, I'm sure everyone here could see that coming. That was very risky from Flew going up the inside there. don't quite know how to keep an eye on, you know, there's action everywhere, a lot of close cars. I really hope you can hear me, I have no idea if you can hear me, and I can't see the chat either because I'm too busy concentrating on this. But we'll follow this train of cars for the moment. Further down the pack. Ross and Prev switching positions briefly. Barely gets a move done on Super pretty easily, using the DRS very effectively there. Moves himself up into P2 on the medium tyres. He'll probably be the biggest threat to Jamin's lead. I believe in the sprint race you generally want to stop quite early if you're on the mediums, as the softs have quite a big pace advantage for quite a long time. And as you can see, Hoike decides to go into the pits to go into those softs early on, so you'll get a really nice undercut on the driver's head. Oh, Nairo trying to open up the corner to get a nice switch back on 10-8. Move done quickly. And he does. These three cars are very close together. Well, Appy try and make a move round the outside at Stowe here. That'd be a nice move if he can pull it off. And he does. Well, he did for a moment. Washed out wide. Tinney obviously had that narrow line which missed the distance of the corner and managed to sneak back up the inside and get into the pits first. Which is crucial, really. Coming into the pits. See if anyone gets held here. He has returned. I'm currently butchering the stream, I'm sure. And what was that? Oh. Well, that would explain it. I've got Hoike lining up a move unfairly here, though. Thinks better of it. Oh, I'm sorry everyone, I had telemetry on. These two drivers the closest right now on the track. Both fighting for the championship pretty hard. Title contenders. Both very consistent, very fast. Fairley is one of the most improved drivers from last season. He's been banging in the time trial laps and his practice is paying off. Hoike lines up a move round the outside at Stowe, side by side, very tight. Made the move stick for now, but they'll go side by side again at the final chicane. Fairley looks to get a switch back at the final corner. Hoike gets a better exit. And TD is now gone again, so perhaps it wasn't just a loose cable. Like Fairley again going up the inside of turn 3, I think that is. Gets the move done. Good racing from these two. These two on the fresh softs will, like I've mentioned already, have a pretty big advantage, and they'll be hoping to close in on Jamin, who's currently out there just outside the DRS zone of Fairley, so that will help him a lot. I do quite like this camera angle. Looking through the halo sort of gives you more sense of speed level with the driver. Fairley is closed in on Jamin and got inside his DRS. Inside the DRS detection zone, so he will have closed in quite a few tenths there and will be right on the back of Jamin by the end of this lap, I'd assume. Hoike closely falling behind. He'll want to stay patient, maybe get past Jamin at the same time as Fairley does. You see Fairley's got around about 40% ERS. Jamin roughly the same, it looks like. What does Hoike have? Roughly the same. So they're all using their ERS but trying to conserve some of it so they have enough to attack or defend if they have to. Supra right on the back of Ross here. Ross obviously on the softs, Supra on the mediums, fresh mediums for Supra, but I'd imagine Ross will have the pace advantage given his tyres, but it does look like he's used a lot of his ERS. Supra with a little bit more to play with. I think everyone here can agree that the Toyota Supra is an iconic and beautiful car. I've heard he doesn't have a Supra in real life, but he definitely would like one. Top 3 still following each other very closely. Looks like Supra made that move on Ross. Perhaps into Stowe. Oh no, apologies. No, I read the timing screens wrong. Unless they'd been fighting side by side and one got back past the other. Nearly going up a move up the inside, a pretty easy one really. It was more than halfway alongside by the time they entered the braking zone. Jamming, not using any IIRL, just saving it a bit. A little bit of understeer through Beckett's. You'll leave him vulnerable to Hoike. Does Hoike go for a move? He goes up the inside. An aggressive move. Looks like he's going to make it stick. Good move from Hoike. Nice and opportunistic. Now he'll set his sights on Fairley. Jamming very close behind. Will he go for a move into turn 3? Probably better to keep patient and Fairley get away. After all, it only decides where you start on the grid. So you can maybe take a lot of risks and it work out for you, but the smart thing to do would be to just maintain as high a position as possible and not lose those positions. These cars still the closest cars in the field. We've got Dayman, who is reasonably close to Dr. Edward here. We can see if he can make a move at some point, although it does look like Hoike is going to make a move here. No. And I've just heard that Dr. Edward is currently driving with pneumonia, which is a pretty serious illness really. So credit where credit is due, that is a great drive to be in, well, in P8, starting the grid in a points paying position. You can see Fairley's got slightly more ERS than Hoike. Hoike probably used quite a lot along, I believe it's called the hang towards Stowe. The Wellington Straight, sorry. Yeah, it is the Hanger Straight. TD's trying to correct me, but got it wrong, as ever. Yeah, okay, that's alright. It's obviously too much. TD's northern internet can't really handle too many things at once.
Yeah, well, no, I've included my audio so people can hear me. Because I can watch the stream and I'm only a couple of seconds behind. Do you reckon Hoy's gonna go for a move on this final lap?
Yeah, he might be biding his time,
yeah,
waiting for that move.
I reckon he might go for, you know.
We do have Jamin very close behind as well. Right now, I would probably say Jamin's tyres are roughly the same speed as Hoike and Fairley's, as they have done more laps and are on the soft tyres, which wear more quickly, obviously. And Jamin goes very wide there.
Yeah, but what helping?
It looks like he's got a 3-second penalty. I'm not sure if it came from that invalidation, but he has lost the chance here as we come
Starting
into the final
pole.
few corners.
I think Fairley's got this.
Yeah, it does look like Fairley has got this in the bag right now. It looks like he will be the one starting on pole unless he makes his mistake into the final couple corners. He does lock up but keeps it together. And that is your front three. Fairley, Hoike and Jamin in that order. They will start P1, P2, P3 for the 50% race. We have Supra who gets ahead on penalties, I believe, in P4, followed by Ross, then Prev, then Wiggles and Dr. Edward, we've mentioned before, great drive considering his circumstances. Dayman with a solid drive, defending well earlier on in the race I saw. Appy with a measured race, he was outside the points, he's managed to get into P10. Well, outside the points paying position to start the race, but...
Starting in them.
And yeah. AJ Sam, Nairo, Matrabil, Tinny Newt and Flew running off the grid, and Orgridil with a DNF unfortunately. I'm not quite sure what happened. Didn't manage to catch that. I was a bit overwhelmed with who I should be following and what I should really be doing.
You're getting there, lads, you're getting there.
I'm hoping there's another 5-minute break because I need it for that. After a 25% race, I'm absolutely knackered.
We got a 50% coming up, lad. This is nothing.
Yeah, so apologies to everyone in the stream if that was a little bit shoddy, but it was my first time.
We give you a break, Tenton. It's your first time,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. It's a shame though because it's the sprint event. I wanted it to be special.
Well, our race on Thursday can be special, Tenton. Well, I absolutely smash you like always.
Yeah, that's our race order. Fairley, Hoy, Jamin, Supra, Ross, Prev, Wiggles, Dr. Edward, Dayman, Appy, AJ Sam, Nairo, Matrabil, Tinny Newt, Flew and Orgridil.
I'd say, yeah, scroll down, Tenton. I'd say that Fairley had the best recovery to go from second row to pole, but also Dr. Edwards had a good recovery from 12th to 8th, I would say.
Can the stream hear you, TD?
Yeah, they can, yes. They can,
Alright,
yes.
okay, good. It looks like there will be someone else joining us for the 50%. The slap bus is here.
He's quite a fast driver as well, which is good.
Right, you're gonna have to carry the stream while I go for a toilet break.
How about we talk about my terrible Wi-Fi? I don't know what's up with it at the moment. But yeah, it's been terrible. But yeah, hopefully. I can actually watch the stream. I'm a couple of seconds behind, but there's nothing wrong with that because I can still watch the stream. So, how are we all anyway? So do we get a 5-minute break? Or? Well, we've got a break anyway because they have to sort out all the grid anyway. So I presume, is it Dr. Morales? You're Dr. Edward, aren't you? From what I can remember. Yeah, well done. That race. 'Cause it takes some effort to be driving with pneumonia, so credit to you.
Right, what have I missed? Absolutely nothing, I would hope.
Nothing at the moment, to be honest with
Waiting while we form up the grid. So, TD,
Yes.
who's your money on for the win tonight?
Oh. Right, I'm gonna go bold, right? You ready for this?
Let's go for it. Yeah, go for it.
The slap bus is gonna win from the back of grid.
Wow. That is a bold prediction. I think everyone viewing would love, well, all the neutral fans viewing right now would like to see that. We all love a good comeback drive. But obviously we have a lot of drivers up and down the field that can take that win. It's a very close grid.
It's gonna take a big effort from him.
Yeah, to get past Jamin, Fairley, Hoyke, Ross,
Yeah.
Wiggles, everyone.
But for
No
the
one is
pace
easy
that he
to get
showed
past.
last week, he's definitely got some good pace. So, I reckon there's a possibility that he can.
And we all want to see Dr. Edward get a good result here.
Yeah.
If he can manage a good result, struggling as he is, that would be...
As Discord's just told us that we've gone live. It's a
Well,
bit
I
late,
hope
isn't
we
it?
have been live.
We have been live, yeah, we have been live. It's just the notifications come on a bit late.
We just lost a viewer, so that was good. I'm not sure. Well, the weather, we weren't able to tell, obviously, what the weather for the race was doing in the previous sessions, as we have to create a new session for the 50% race, so weather conditions are still unknown. We could
Yeah,
see a wet race. We could see a dry to wet. We would love to see that. Mixed
I
conditions
think
always provides carnage.
I think it'd be good to see mixed conditions.
Yeah, I'd love to see some mixed conditions. Obviously in the wet it's a lot harder to pass, but when you have the track drying out and everyone making their pit stops, some gambling to stay out a lap later, some going in earlier, it does throw a few spanners in the works, as they say. Should hopefully be getting away soon in the next few minutes.
Are we missing someone from last race?
I do think we are, yeah.
Match Rebel in here.
Yeah, I'll give him an invite. Perhaps unaware of... I mean, you'd hope he'd been on the Discord and know that we are doing this format for the race.
We're ready enough, so we must be going without him. Yeah, must be going without him. No Tinny and no Match Rebel.
No Tinny either.
No. That's a shame. No, Match Rebel can't. Who are you going for a win then, 10-10? You've asked me. Who do you reckon will win?
I mean, I did try to sort of give an idea of what my thinking was. You know, there's so many drivers in the grid that could win it, but if I had to put my money on anyone, I'd probably put it on Hoike. He's in some good form right now. He looks like he's driving quite confidently and in a more calculated manner. It looks like a lot of drivers are leaving the session,
Ooh.
so I don't know if we're doing a restart.
Oh, unless you've disconnected.
Unless I've disconnected.
Nope, everyone's been removed. Yep, everyone's been removed.
Well then.
That's lovely, isn't it?
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. The game lately has been very unstable, which is really
Extremely
unfortunate.
shit.
Yeah, to put it bluntly, it's been extremely shit. So, apologies to those viewing the stream. You'll get a further 5 or 10 minutes of us waiting to get the race underway, but I'm sure it'll
I
be worth
think
the wait.
while we're waiting, you should go and be on my team with Braun.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe our two-player career.
Don't to show a point in that, Denton.
Right, let's quickly have a gander at the points. Look at this. 1 point splitting the two
And bearing in
next
mind,
esports
I,
legends.
I have finished 3 races, 10-10's finished about 5. So I'm better than 10-10 officially.
Well, it's debatable, really. TD has employed some dirty tactics in the past. Charles Leclerc falling victim of some contact a number of times, actually. And the reliability at Ferrari has not been great.
And what did you do to Sergio Perez?
Well,
can't
it's more
remember.
what did Sergio Perez do to me, I think. You know, I was ahead going towards turn 3 at Austria. Perez kept his nose in there. I don't know what he was thinking, but it didn't end well, let's just say that.
Do you? Basically, he decided he wanted to take him out.
Basically, TD is talking nonsense. I would never take a driver out.
Yeah, let's talk about football. It's currently 2-2 between
Football.
Liverpool and Atletico Madrid.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah,
I was going to watch that game,
I bet it's a
but
good game
instead,
that as well.
yeah, I knew that would be a good game tonight.
PSG are drawing with Leipzig. That's a good performance by Leipzig to be drawing with PSG. Dortmund are losing. Sheriff, unfortunately, losing to Inter.
Nah, come on, Sheriff.
But when against Real Madrid, so you think they might be able to win. Griezmann scored twice against Liverpool. That's an achievement, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than his form at Barcelona, that's
So
for
his
sure. If he was
form
at
at
Barcelona, he
Barcelona was
probably scored an own
shocking.
goal.
His form at Barcelona was shocking. Hopefully he can revitalise his career though, because he was a very good player when he used to play for Atletico.
And hopefully Barcelona can regain their form as well. It's not nice seeing them
It's just how
struggle
much
so
they're
much
in
recently.
debt really, isn't it? If they can sort
I
all
think
that
it's
out.
affecting, yeah,
Yeah.
it's affecting the players, it seems.
Yeah. If they can sort it all out, then they should be able to get some money back and then get back to the players that they have, because they're using Luke De Jong in net, like, I mean, in as striker, like, compared to
That's
Suarez and
desperation.
David Villa and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is desperation, isn't it?
Yeah. We hope they get there really.
It's a shame for him too, because, you know, he was looking like he was going to be an absolute star at that team, but he can't carry them alone.
Yeah. And they've lost Messi as well, so that's a big part for them to lose. That's like a massive part of Barcelona that we've lost, so.
They need to bring in some youngsters, grow them,
Well, we've got
like they
Ansu
did
Fati.
Iniesta and Xavi. Ansu
got-
Fati, yeah, he's very promising.
Tenton.
Yes.
I've just currently reading a news article, and it says Kanye West legally changes his name to Yeah.
Yeah.
YE.
Well, fair play to him. The man has completely lost his marbles, but it's entertaining for all of us, isn't it?
It's gonna be so funny when you're in the conversation with someone, and then you're just like, "Do you know about Yeah?"
Yeah, I know about yeah. Yeah, you know yeah.
Oh dear. Oh. But
It looks like we're getting straight back into it, which is good to see. The grid very quickly formed up. %50 race takes roughly 46 minutes, 45 minutes.
Should be done by 9:30, hopefully.
Yeah, we should be finished by 9:30, which is roughly when we'd finish.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Wait. Wait. Do we might have rain? Oh, please don't
If we
have
have
rain.
rain, the race will take a little bit longer.
I
Be a
kinda don't want
a few
rain
extra
now.
minutes.
I want to go at some point. I want to go to bed at some point.
Well, it looks dry right now. Nice sunny day in the paddock. See the fans randomly clapping every so often.
Yeah, we're clapping at these wonderful action that's currently going on at the moment. Like you can see all these cars moving.
They all look very disinterested and then suddenly they'll start clapping.
Hyper's asking for people's discards.
Quickly look at the starting grid again in case anyone's forgotten.
Wonder what tyres everyone's going on. Top three all going on mediums.
Well, they have to start on the. Do they have to? No, they
No, you
do.
can
They have to
start
start. No,
any
they don't.
tyre that you want.
They can start. They can start on any tire they want, obviously, as they do in real life for the 50%. Well, for their full race.
I think starting on the
Top
mediums.
top five now, starting on the mediums. Supra quickly selecting them before they start. Obviously, if you're starting closer to the front of the grid, taking the mediums is less of a hit. Whereas if you're lower down on the grid, you might want to start on the softs to jump up a few places right at the beginning. Wiggles selecting the mediums as well.
Interesting. What's the slap bus doing? Mediums, there we go.
Slap Bus is on mediums, as is Orgriddle, who had DNF'd in the sprint race.
A lot of people are going to the mediums.
Okay, looks like we're getting underway. Dr. Edward quickly switched to the mediums right at the end there. So we should have a formation lap, I would
We
expect.
always do. Unless
No formation lap as we
Ross has
had a
forgot.
Oh, no,
Yes.
never mind. I
I
saw
was
the
gonna
red light
say one
starting and
light
got ahead
came
of
on, so
myself.
surely it is.
Barely leading the way. Let's see how he approaches his formation lap.
And while you quickly go through the grid, Tenten, I am going to get the championship order up.
Thanks very much. The white Red Bull.
It's a lovely car, it really is.
It is lovely. I've heard a few people saying they're not a big fan of it, but I think it was a really nice touch, a really nice tribute to Honda. It's a
So,
very retro looking livery. Right, okay, TD?
we have Hoike in first place, leading fairly by 39 points. So fairly definitely wanting to reduce that. We have Russ in second on 66. Russ in third with 66 points. 59 points behind the leaders. With Prevanel 5 points behind them. John and SLR Connor split by 1 point. Mr. Wiggles in 6th on the same amount of points as our Gridle. Appy in 9th. AJ Sam 10th. Flew 11th. Nairo 12th. Dayman 13th. Maverick 14th. And Tidiest Bear, Tinny Newt, Matchabill, Dr. Edwards, that guy, and the Slap Bus are yet to score points.
Orgriddle flying through all the cars, as we
Ah,
often
it's
see when
just
the
so
AI takes
fast.
control. And Slapbus, with a massive gap between him and Orgriddle, trying to let all the drivers on the grid have their tyres cool down as much as possible.
Now we wait for the 5 lights. And
5
they are
lights. And away they go. Fairly with a good start. Hoike challenging Jamin into turn 1. Ross
it's
getting a
tight.
very good start. And he's been, well, I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like he went for a minute and has managed to spin himself round. I'm not sure if Jamin perhaps closed the door or if he went in a little bit hot. Got Hoike all over the back of Fairley here. Doesn't go for a move yet.
Looking very racy at the moment, the top 2. Going very
Jamin
close
over the back of
behind.
Hoike now.
Can he go for a move into Cop maybe? Chooses not to. Sensible. There's a car behind going side by side. I couldn't see quite who that was. I think it was Slapbus and Dr. Edwards. Slapbus had a really good start. Up to 10th already.
Yeah, up into P10 already. That is a very good start from Slapbus.
Flew as well, up a lot of positions at 5.
Fairly breaking the slipstream very aggressively. Doesn't want Hoike all over the back of him for understandable reasons.
I think we have Orgrider around at Chapel. Falling a bit further behind AJ Sam now.
Look how close it is. Top 9 all very close still. Half lap.
Everyone up to AJ Sam is all in DRS still, which is good to see. We like to see close racing. It goes all over the back of Superman. We want to try and get this move done if he can.
Yeah, using a lot of overtake. Supra used a bit of overtake to defend there, I believe.
Dr. Edwards looks to be close behind the Slapbus as well, only a 10th behind. Not sure whether he's going to go for a move anytime soon. He's also got APS happy, who's lost a position right behind him as well.
Yep, Slapbus getting into P9 very quickly.
We're wanting to try and gain back more positions.
Everyone on fresh tyres obviously, so no one really has a massive advantage over each other.
Really advantage is the softs over the mediums at the moment, but you'd imagine that'll start to switch around lap 8-9ish, you'd think. Yes, is now enabled. And we have a bit of a DRS train. From Fairley down to
Slapbus going for a move up the inside of Dayman, looking to make a nice switch back. Yeah, very well done there.
Lovely. That's a very nice move. Very nice.
Much better exit.
Yeah, that was very calculated from the Slapbus there. I know. Want to try and get a good run through Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel, so that Dayman can't go for a move on him going down the hanger straight. Which he looks to have done. Oh, super on Prev. Wow, close.
Oh, Wiggles might try and take an opportunity here, and he goes round the outside. This is great racing.
Lovely. Very nice move.
Supra holds it round the outside of the the final proper corner, goes off track and keeps the position. Obviously didn't get a
Do you have
warning.
anything of Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen that?
Yeah, that is very much like that battle. That was a brilliant battle back in 2019.
That was good racing between the two of them as well. A bit aggressive between the two, but we don't like to see people just pull out. We like to see a bit of racing. As long as it's clean.
Yeah, I don't see much wrong with that really. Both the drivers were side by side. It wasn't too bad from the angle that I'd seen anyway.
Super looks to be a lot closer to Prev now as well. Only 2 times behind, and Prev doesn't have the DRS.
Let's see how well he follows through Maggots and Beckett's. In that dirty air.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like he'll be able to get this move done here. Up the
If he has
inside.
the shot on speed. Yeah, he does.
Nice, easy DRS pass before the corner of Stowe. Looks like Orgadil is struggling a little bit, maybe with his setup or his tyre temperatures. I briefly saw a change of position, I'm not sure. Jamin already picking up a 3-second penalty, I believe. Slapbus also picking up a 3-second penalty.
I really won't help him there. That 3-second time penalty. If he wants to have a chance of winning this race, Hoyke and Fairley don't get a lot of penalties. So definitely need to try and do some overtakes now.
Oh, got some battling again. Wiggles and Prev this time.
Oh.
Wiggles going right off the track, trying to keep it up the inside.
Seconds.
He's keeping his nose in. Yep, getting a 3-second penalty for going off the track there, trying to hang it round the outside of Prev.
Prev didn't force him off, I think Wiggles just had a little bit
in
of
the
a
background
mistake.
here. Up the inside goes Slapbus, doing what Verstappen and Hamilton couldn't do earlier this year.
Slapbus into P7 already.
Yeah, it's good moves from Slapbus, he's moving up the order quickly.
How far is he behind the
Wiggles. He is currently 4.9 seconds from the leader, so he's not far. He's not too far.
He looks to have really good pace as well. My prediction could be right.
Scything through the grid.
I might actually get a prediction right for once.
Well, his 3-second penalty won't help, especially if there's any safety cars later on in the race. Still have Jamin right on the back of Hoyke. He seems very good for the final and first sector.
Yeah. Maybe having a little bit less downforce than what Hoy has. You don't need as much downforce in the last and first sector, but this middle sectors, that's where you need the downforce.
Another difference would be Jamin is using a pad, the two at the front are using a wheel. Sector 2 is very much a sector that favours the wheel, whereas sectors 1 and 3 slightly favour the pad in some ways.
Hoy's very close behind Fairley now as well. Looks to have got a decent run through Maggots and Beckett's as well.
Yeah,
very
both drivers with a lot of ERS.
I think he's going to go for it around the outside.
Yeah, round the outside he goes. Can he hang it?
Oh, that's very good racing.
Round the outside goes Fairley into the final chicane. Really good move there. Great racing from the two of them.
It's very tight.
Side by side, almost through the very final corner.
Oh.
And it's getting pretty heated at the front here. Jamin will be licking his lips, hoping that one of these two make a mistake.
Oh, it's even close, but Hoy nearly ran into the back of Fairley there.
Looked like Jamin just tapped Hoike there. The Jersey driver will be careful. Jamin goes up the inside of Hoike, out of the exit of... I'm not sure what that corner's called. Very sorry.
Entry. Entry.
That one.
Yeah.
Through lap
Oh, well,
fields,
look,
Jamin
Jamin.
following very closely. He's pushing really hard. He knows he's got this 3-second penalty. He knows he needs to make the moves early.
I think what's going to be crucial between the top three is who's going to pit first. The undercut around Silverstone, I think, from what I remember, is quite powerful. And if one of the top three pit quite early, it could be quite crucial for who's going to win this race.
We have Supra here, who's sort of just been not too far from these top three. Jamin trying to go for a move on Fairley, doesn't quite make it stick. Fairley defending, looking in his mirrors. I love this nose cam. Oh, having a little bit of a moment there was Jamin, which is allowing Hoike to get a good run on him into turn one. Hoike thinks cleverly and decides to stay behind, wait for the DRS zone. Wiggles gets past Supra, side by side they go.
I think this is
lovely switch back from Supra here. Supra up the inside. He'll keep the inside line, but Wiggles has the DRS, and so does Supra actually, from being so close to the top three there.
This is great racing.
Wiggles manages to get past. Supra might be thinking you should maybe be thinking about pitting in the next few laps, maybe lap 11 or lap 12, maybe earlier.
I think he's tired of starting to go.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for Appy as well, who's unfortunately crashed coming out of Chapel.
Oh, that is very unfortunate for Appy.
I'm sure he'll be kicking himself as he does a lot of practice as Appy, and he's very committed to league racing.
Yeah, he's been putting in the hours, and he's been league racing across multiple leagues, trying to find every 10th he can. Sometimes when you're pushing as hard as you are, as hard as Appy is, sorry, you can easily make a mistake, especially at a track like this, which is so fast with some pretty sketchy corners like Cops, for example.
Trev is the first one to pit off soft tyres.
Further back the grid we have Ross, who looks to be currently making a move, I believe. And Dayman goes up the inside into Lupfield. Dayman going very wide there. Ross will thank him for that.
Pretty simple there for Ross.
And a little bit wide there. He's probably hoping he'd avoid getting a warning there for track limits. Got Hoike right on the back of Jamin right on the back of Fairley. Still, these guys, 9 laps on, are fighting with nothing separating them. Hoike going in the back of Jamin there. I'm not sure if he received any sort of damage. We'll know very soon if he did get damage from that, but I think he might have managed to escape that.
I think a tiny little tap might not have. He might get away with that.
Sorry. Wiggles now is right on the back of the top three. He might have a little bit more tyres, just because he's probably not been pushing quite as hard as the top three.
So that's some good as Wiggles. But he obviously has them penalties, which isn't going to help him at all.
Yeah, that is true. 6 seconds of penalties at that.
Oh. Yeah, but really ain't going to help him towards the end of his race.
He is taking a lot of curb and trying to extend the track as much as possible to gain every bit of time he can. We have Hoike, who's dropped off the back of Jamin for that last second. Maybe he has picked up a bit of damage. Even the slightest bit of damage can really hamper your race.
Oh, this is tight.
Jamin side by side into the last chicane. Will they give each other enough space? Well, it looks like Fairley might have backed out of it.
Yeah, and got a really power run as well.
And he's now under threat from the drivers behind. And Jamin is now out of the DRS of Fairley, so he'll be looking to pull away here and get that 3 second gap. Yeah, and Wiggles gets past. So Hoike struggling a bit. Maybe he does have
slight damage.
A slight bit of damage from that contact. He's not giving up though.
He does look to be understeering a little bit through these corners.
We'll have a look at his onboard through cops, because that'll be a telltale sign if he does have any damage. If there's quite a big lift from Hoy, probably... Yeah, that is quite a big lift, and even then he was washing it wide.
He had quite a big lift there, and he still went wide. So I think he certainly has a tiny little bit of damage.
And Jamin now picking up another 3 second penalty. That won't help him at all. It looks like he might have had a moment going through Maggots and Beckett's and got that penalty there, because it's allowed Fairley back through into the lead. Jamin with a lot of understeer there. Perhaps overheating his tyres from pushing so hard.
He had grass on his tyres as well, which helped him. I think he must have gone off at the exit of Maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah, that would explain it. So this is looking good for Fairley right now. He's got 2 cars with penalties too, to Hoike. Look how close it is between the top 5. There is not much separating them at all.
With them all battle, it's allowing the slap bus to try and catch up as well. He's gained about 4 attempts on that last lap.
Yep, he was... How much was it? It was 5 seconds off the lead he was earlier. He's now 3.6, 3.7 seconds off the lead. So Slapbus for some great pace. Hoike taking Kops a little bit better that time.
This looks to have a lot of understeer there through Maggots and Beckett's, certainly on the exit.
Jamin going for a move on Wiggles. Looks like it's going to be a relatively easy one. Wiggles will probably back out of that because Jamin had the overspeed.
Yeah, Wiggles had no way out of it, so he just couldn't defend. You could see his red light flashing. Jamin setting the fastest lap there with the help of DRS.
And we've got Ross and Slapbus. Slapbus pitted, sorry.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, Slapbus in at the pits very early for the soft tyres. But the softs will make it that long. They will go to the end, those softs.
They might just.
We've seen Supra take the softs 13 laps just there, and he was managing to keep up with the leaders. Supra pitting for the mediums, obviously.
He might just be struggling a bit at the end, the Slapbus. But
he will get a nice undercut.
Yeah, I was about to say that it'll be interesting to see how much he can gain on the leaders now, being on brand new soft tyres. You
will have Supra to contend with, though that might halt progress slightly. We've already got him eyeing up a move on Supra.
Should be an easy move going into Stowe, I'd imagine, but Super's gonna get DRS off of Nairo, so it might not be as easy as what we think.
Not very much ERS for Slapbus as well. He's going to be quite frustrated here, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, will he? Oh, I was thinking he might try and go up the inside of Supra there, but that would have been a bit ambitious. He will try into the final corner, though, it looks like. A nice, easy move around the outside. That was very nice from Slapbus, very committed.
That's just the grip difference there between the softs and the mediums.
So now he has a clear track ahead of him to attack, to try and get the undercut on the top four. He was only 3.9 seconds, I believe it was,
3.5
off of the leaders, 3.7. And yeah, maybe 3.5 by the time he had pitted, so he might get in within DRS or maybe even past one of these drivers who will be struggling on their tyres by now.
And what's not helping the top four is they're all still battling as well. Slapbus in for and new tyres. Gonna make it very easy for him to catch up.
31.4 seconds behind. I'm not sure how long the pit lane is. It is one of the longest pit lanes, and Wiggles there having a huge moment. I'm not sure if there was contact, but he might have broken his wing slightly, so he might want that replaced. Hoike with a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane, as does Jamin.
Yeah.
Well, that was a hectic few seconds. I'm not sure what actually happened there. I don't know if Hoike maybe went into the back of Jamin or they both misjudged it, calling into the pits quite late.
Oh, Slapbus, another 3-second time penalty. Now on 6 seconds.
Yeah, that definitely won't help him. Ross also pitting. He's not too far off of the top 5.
It's a good recovery by Ross as well.
He has a bit of work to do.
He got spun at the start.
Yeah, of course. Losing a lot of time at the start and then keeping it clean, which is exactly what he needed to do. He was very unfortunate at the Alfa Romeo in both tiers, in 81 and no assists, but you'll be very well acquainted with the Alfa Romeo by the end of the year.
I'm pretty sure Alpha Ross fan is very happy with how Ross is doing at the moment.
Ross looking for a move to get past Prev, who's on medium tyres. He'll have a huge pace advantage right now.
I think it's...
Does he go round the outside at Cops? No. Gets a switchback though into Maggots and Beckett's. Will he risk going side by side here? No. Thinks better of it. Very clever driving from Ross.
Yeah, I was going to say that's sensible. It means that he can just get a move done now into Stowe, so...
Yeah, that was definitely the best way to play it.
Jamming another 3-second time penalty, and I think that's just definitely his chances of winning gone now, because he's got 14 seconds.
We're just fairly filter out and then
Still
behind Hoike and behind Jamin.
Oh no, yeah, my bad.
But does not have any penalties, so currently he will win on penalties. Whether or not Hoike can get his penalty removed, I do not know at this point. It did just look like they'd peeled into the pits quite late and maybe misjudged their braking. None of them are running any assists, so there isn't much of a reference point for entering the pits, and it's a very slow pit lane speed limit as well, so it'll be very hard to judge.
There's no really reference of going into the pits in Britain, so it's very hard for you to get your actual braking point right, so it might have just been a misjudgment of the braking.
Yeah, on the old tyres as well, they won't be practicing going into the pits on old tyres as well, so it is always a difficult one to judge. It's better to be a bit more cautious and brake you would, but they're in a tight battle and want to gain as much time as possible.
I'm sure Fairley will be happy with Hoy getting a 5 second though.
Yeah,
In terms
Fairley
of
will
the
be very happy right
championship.
now. He'll feel a little bit more comfortable with the situation, knowing that the drivers around him have penalties. His biggest threat really right now with the penalties is probably Supra, but he's on the medium tyres, so we might see him drop back slightly.
Could see him come back at the end though, with the soft tyres grip going off towards the end.
Will we see a move from Supra on slap bus here? It looks like he's going to go for a move up the inside. Very good move. And the medium tyres too. That's quite surprising to see him get past slap bus quite so easily. I'm not sure if slap bus is carrying any damage, or maybe his tyres have overheated.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, overheated tyres. So
Oh, it's unfortunate to see Nairo DNF. I'm not sure what happened there.
I
don't know if he'd just come out of the pits, so I'm not sure if he tried to retire in the pits. Hopefully this doesn't bring out a safety car.
Maybe just have a look at his tyre compound. It might have put like inters on it, something like that. Inters on his car. I've seen it do that before, put the wrong tyre set on.
Well, that would be really unfortunate.
That's why you're meant to look at the tyres.
Let's see. Fairley will probably want to get past Hoike. He obviously doesn't know what this 5-second penalty might be for Hoike, so he'll want to get past him just in case. But he won't want to make any risky moves.
Yeah, because he wants to gain points in the championship. He don't want to lose any, or just maintain. He definitely wants to start gaining around this time. We've got quite a big gap season.
Jamin picking up another 3-second penalty. That's quite unfortunate for him. He's obviously pushing really hard. Maybe cutting the corners by millimetres, but that's enough to give you a warning.
That's going to drop him a lot of positions as well with 17 seconds.
Good to see Dayman making a move here on Flew, not quite into the final chicane. A little bit of a moment there at the final corner, well, final proper corner. Seen quite a lot of sensible driving, a lot of good racing today. We haven't seen any drastic moves or any or much
major
driving
incidents
too aggressive over the line.
Yeah, haven't seen any major incidents either, so major incidents anyway. We want to see good driving between all of the drivers, and that seems to be what we're getting.
And Fairley going for a move here on Hoike outside. The same move Hoike tried to do him in earlier, but he makes it very cleanly.
Yeah, very nice move.
Very committed move.
Very nice indeed.
And Jamin retires in the pits. He knows he won't be able to win the race penalties he has. A lot of frustration there probably. Jamin only recently started running no line, which is an assist which helps with your braking reference points, your turn-in points. It's a general guide to get you around the track, and as soon as you turn it off, it requires a lot of practice and a lot of repetition to perfect it.
Yeah, it'll get there, will do. I mean, it just takes a lot of time to do. It's very hard to go from the, having line on all the time to no line, so we'll get there, will do. I mean, it's been putting in a lot of effort recently, so I imagine he should be able to get up to the pace that he was at. Probably going for a move, it
Okay,
looks
we'll
like.
now try the move
Yeah.
again. He'll try the move that Fairley did him on the lap previously. Still side by side, Fairley keeping it on the inside, which will turn to the outside for the final chicane. Hoike manages to get ahead, Fairley playing it smart. Good racing between these two throughout the whole race. A
The
lot
top
of
two in the
respect between the two,
championship.
which is great to see. Yep. It's not like Hamilton and Verstappen, where contact definitely would have happened by now.
This is just this is basically the battle of Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, just our version.
Maybe this is currently Alonso holding up Hamilton, the Alpine holding back the
Yeah,
Mercedes. Now Hoike will be wanting to get 5 seconds ahead of Supra so that he can stay on the podium.
I think he currently is at the moment.
In
but
fact,
it's
he
only by
will get a
few
podium no
times.
matter what, I believe.
Yeah, he'll get a podium,
currently.
but he'll want P2
He'll
at
want
least.
P2 though.
Yeah. I think he's just ahead of Super at the moment, but it's only by like 6/10, which isn't a lot
Fairley
really.
going for another move. Up the inside this time he goes. Hoike hanging it round the outside, side by side once again.
It's
like deja vu.
racing.
Oh, that's a great move from Fairley. This time doesn't back out of it. Keeps his car in there. Hoike giving him the respect that he deserves. Will they go side by side again through turn 1? Yes, they will.
Oh. This is
Hoike
great.
takes the position back. This is great racing. Fantastic.
This is what we like to see. Two very talented drivers, giving each other the utmost respect. Might see another move on this lap as well, going into Stowe again.
Supra currently 4.9 seconds behind Hoike. It
Oh.
is really on the line here.
We'll have to keep watching that gap the whole right all the way to
We've
the
got-
end of the race.
Ross going for a move on Wiggles here. But we have another fight for the race lead. I should probably stick to this,
Oh.
as this is the vital for the championship.
I'm sure Hoy will
They
be
just-
going for these moves because he thinks he can get that 5 second taken off.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get that 5 second taken off, then he will be really eager to get past and stay ahead.
It
Whereas
might
if
be a
he'd
case
maybe-
of that he was at 50 miles per hour, but he's giving him a penalty anyway. It does that sometimes. Or 37,
Yeah, we have
whatever
seen
it
in the
is.
past. Yeah, we have seen in the past the game will give you a penalty even though you have reached the speed limit before the line. It can sometimes be a bit of desync between the post or the or the lobby leader, whatever you want to call it.
Which is maybe why Hoy's going through his moves. Hoy's a very sensible driver, and he'll know that he'll want to get P2 if he can't get this penalty removed. I think that might be why he's going for all these moves, because he thinks he can get it taken off.
Oh, he did show his nose there, but he knew that he wouldn't get the move done, so decides to back out of it last second. In that fight with Ross and Wiggles, Wiggles seems to have lost a lot of time, so I don't know if he had maybe gone off track or made a mistake in that battle with Ross. Sorry to cut away from it so quickly, but this fight for the lead is enthralling.
It is
and
indeed.
Probably something we should be keeping our eyes on very closely.
Yeah, Wiggles looks to be struggling quite a bit now. He's 11 seconds behind what Ross was, and they were only just battling a couple of laps ago.
Maybe picking up some damage.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at his front wing. Yeah, no, I don't see any damage actually.
Maybe just a mistake.
Maybe overheated tyres, yeah, or a mistake. Battling side by side, giving each other good respect again. Fairly keeping the lead again, but Hoike looks like he might be going up for a move up the inside. He does, he goes for it. Fairly manages to stay ahead. Again.
What's to go? I'm sure we'll want bragging rights as well of finishing first on track.
Yep, even if this 5-second penalty is legit, he may want to just try and stay ahead, just as a message of his intent that he wants to finish first. We have Supra, who's now 7.4 seconds adrift of the leader,
Wiggles.
so Hoike is comfortably in P2.
Wiggles retiring in the pits.
Ah, that's a shame to see. Wiggles was having a great race, especially at the start. He was right up there with the leaders, and he was never too far away from the front, but perhaps
have
made
had
a
a
couple of
problem.
mistakes.
Oh, our glider's crashed as well.
Will this bring out a safety car, I
Into
wonder?
Aintree. It won't bring out a safety car because there's only one lap left.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I imagine if there wasn't one lap left, that would have brought out a safety car.
Will Hoike make his move on the last lap? Like he had planned to do in the previous sprint race. It was a similar circumstance with Hoike just behind Fairley on the last lap. Can Hoike make the difference this time? Fairley setting the fastest lap, wow. Very good time from him.
That's good on very old tyres.
Yeah, using a lot of overtake to do it. Hoike doesn't have any overtake to respond, so it's very unlikely he'll be able to make a move on Fairley here unless Fairley makes a mistake.
Indeed. However, for Hoy, he is going to finish in P3 unless his 5 seconds get moved. The Super's only 3.9 seconds behind now.
Well, he's 3.9 behind Slapbus, who's 4.9 behind
No,
Hoy.
yeah.
I've changed it back to interval.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a mistake
Hoike will
there
get
by
P2.
Super.
A Super will get a podium here on penalties, which is a great result from him.
Where did Super see even start? I can't remember.
Well, let's look at the positions changed. It looks like he did start P4,
Yeah, that's good then.
so didn't lose any positions. Was always pretty close to the front as well, so it was good pace from him. Slap bus up 12, but that will change to 11, I'd imagine. As he will go drop a place behind Supra on penalties. Followed by Ross in P5, finishing where he started as well. Prev also finishing
After
where
a
he
spin as
started.
well.
Flew actually displacing Prev at the end there, P6.
I'm sure
See
Ross will
Dr.
be happy
Edward,
with that.
P8. Good drive for him, kept it out of trouble, got some points on the board. Considering his circumstances, that's
I think he drives
very
on wheel
impressive.
as well, which is even more exhausting than on a controller. That's very good by Dr. Edwards. He said he'd be happy to finish the race and he got points, so I don't think he's
Yeah, that's great
disappointed
for
at
him.
all.
All in all, a fantastic race.
Indeed.
From start to finish. We always had something to keep our eyes on.
In both races really, in the sprint race and in the 50%, we saw clean driving the whole time, and then just generally generally good overtaking moves and driving between all of the drivers.
Yeah, so a few drivers probably won't leave here happy, but many of them were having a great race up until the point that they either made a mistake or decided to give up, just based on things that had happened towards the end of their race. But it'll be a tough one to decide who's got driver of the day. I'm probably going to have to give it to Fairley. In my opinion, P1 in the race, P1 in the 50% with fastest lap, fending off all the drivers behind, not getting a penalty. That is probably what you define as perfect. A Hamilton display.
Yeah, I'd give it to Fairley. I'd give a special mention to Ross and to the slap bus. Slap bus obviously gaining loads of positions. Ross with a good comeback race. And I'd give a special mention to Jamin as well, who had good pace, just except for the penalties really.
Yep. And Dr. Edward obviously driving with
Yeah, of
pneumonia
course.
on a wheel. We can't forget to mention him. So yeah, that'll wrap it up for No Assist on the Tuesday. We'll be streaming again on the Thursday, and then again on the Sunday, same time, 7:30. So tuned for that. It's been
Hopefully
great having
my
everyone
internet
here.
holds up on Sunday.
Yeah, and on Thursday we want you to finish the race.
Yeah, hopefully.
So you can watch TD and I on the Thursday, and then you can watch us or do us commentate again on the Sunday, and hopefully do a less shoddy job with TD in control of the stream, who is a lot more experienced than me. But yeah, thanks guys, and we'll catch you on Tuesday.